Good morning, good morning. So, so please, if you can hear me, let me know. Good morning for whoever has joined this training. Thank you for joining. So I'll wait for some people to join as well before we get started. At least we should have 50% of the attendees who registered. So before we now get started. So let's wait for others. Hello, good morning, y'all. Please let me know if you can hear me. So I won't be like I'm talking to myself. So if you can hear me, just say something or show reaction.
I can hear you from my head.
Okay, okay, that confirms that. Please, who else? If you can hear me, please let me know. So we can get the training started. I try to wait for other people. So I guess we are just gonna get started because this is already 11:09. Hello. I think I can see. Okay. Oh, Mr. Babatunde Akimbo, you can hear me, right?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, okay. Thank you for that. How about Mr. Damilare? Can you hear me? Mr. Damilare,
Loud and clear.
Mr. Damilare, can you hear me?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Loud and clear.
I can see you are speaking, but I can't hear you.
You just confirmed that you can hear you clearly.
Okay, 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 okay. Good. Thank you. Thank you. I can hear you now. I can hear everybody. So, thank you all for joining this training. Okay, good. Thank you. That confirms that. Good. Thank you. Thank you for that. So I tried to wait for other people. So I guess we are just going to get started. So thank you all for joining this training. Like I said, this training is just to show us how we can break into technology space as an automation developer and a low code developer. So before, let me just share my screen and introduce myself. For those who are just meeting me for the first time, welcome, Mr. Smith. Thank you for joining the training. So let me know if you can see my screen. Okay, good. Okay, so now let's get started. Now, what's the purpose of this training? Is to empower we professionals through the Microsoft Power Platform space. So before I go, let me just introduce myself. My name is Marvelous Omotosho. I'm from Nigeria, and I'm the founder of 703 Solutions. I'm a process automation developer at GMG Limited, one of the leading energy distribution company here in Nigeria. And I'm also a Microsoft Power Up champ. Through my desire to share my knowledge, empower people in the community, I was awarded a Microsoft Power Up champ, and I'm globally recognized as a community contributor in the Microsoft 365 and Power Platform community space. So I welcome you for joining this training, and I'm so glad to have you here. Now, how do we empower ourselves to be an automation developer so we can develop our own automation and develop a business application that increase productivity? So before I go, this is the agenda that we have before that we're going to talk about. So if you can see my screen, please show some reaction so I can know you guys are seeing my screen. Please let me know if you can see my screen, please. Mr. Babatunde.
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Hello.
Yeah, I can see your screen. I can see your screen.
I can see your screen.
Okay, you can see my screen. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, thank you. Oh, Mr. Smith, I hope everybody can see my screen too, so I can continue. So the agenda today is we are going to talk about the introduction to low code and automation. We'll talk about the overview of Microsoft Power Platform. So what is Microsoft Platform? That is their interface that we'll be using to create an automation and also our business application. We are still going to get more into that. And we'll talk about how to get started with Power Apps. I will be developing a sample application using the Microsoft Power Platform and how to start your journey in tech. Then I will open for questions and answers. So these are the agenda before. So now let's get started. Now, what is low code development? Because the purpose of this training is to empower we are willing to empower for career switchers or who want to be more productive at work. That's the purpose of this training. It's low code without needing you to write code, or if you are the type that have been scared of writing code because you believe everyone that is in the tech space do write code every single day. Not everybody writes code because now technology is not advancing. There's a low code platform. You can bring your app idea to life and develop automations that can allow you to be more productive at work. Now, what is low code development? Low code development is an approach to building software applications with minimal and coding. All right, you might be saying, I wish I can do this, I wish I can design this, I wish I can develop this. Yes, there's an ability to bring those ideas to life without writing any single line of code. You don't need to code anything. You are not coding. We are not using any programming language to bring your app ideas to life. All right, so it utilizes drag and drop interface. It's just a drag and drop interface that you're going to use to develop your application. Now, what are the benefits of automations for professionals? What are the benefits? You might be thinking, why do I need to become a low code developer? Why do I need to develop automations? These are some benefits you will get when you automate your repetitive tasks at work. One, you increase productivity. It saves significant time by automating repetitive tasks. All right, when you are able to develop, let's assume in your workplace, what usually use 3 hours or 5 hours to complete a task, wouldn't it be amazing if you're able to reduce those 5 hours to like 30 minutes, 1 hour, and thereby you can focus on other aspects of things that really matter. Thereby you can be more productive at work. And it also enhance efficiency, improve accuracy, it enhance efficiency and cost saving. It doesn't cost you so much to develop any automation of your choice. Then we'll move on to the challenges solved by some automations. These are some of the challenges that each and every one of us have faced before in our workplace, and we wish this can be automated. One, manual data entry. If you are able to automate the way you enter data manually in your organization, that can also increase productivity. You eliminate tedious and repetitive entering tasks by automating data flow between applications. If you are the type of, maybe you are an accountant, a product manager, you are a tech professional, you might as well work with Excel spreadsheets. And sometimes when trying to enter data inside Excel spreadsheets kind of tedious sometimes. When you begin to have thousands of rows, 10,000 rows, how do you want to begin to enter data into those kind of columns that have like 50 columns? But if you're able to automate that without you even, without, thank you. Oh, thank you, Mr. Babatunde, for calling my attention to that. So can you hear me now, please? Oh, I never knew the network was breaking.
Loud and clear from my hand.
Okay. You said, can you hear me, please?
I hear you, but your voice is breaking. Maybe it's my network. But I can hear you, but your voice is breaking somehow. Don't worry, you can go on. Can go ahead.
Okay. How about Mr. Damla? Can you hear me loud and clear? Or is my voice still breaking?
Yes, please, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So another challenges that automations are solved in an organization is administrative burdens. It is onboarding and offboarding processes. These are for HR candidates, HR professionals. If you have someone that is an HR among us here, you have know what I mean by onboarding and offboarding. Sometimes it can be time consuming, but if you are able to automate that using a low code automation, trust me, that want to be more productive at work. You will surely be more productive at work. Now let's go into the overview of Microsoft Power Platform. Yes, what is Microsoft Power Platform? It's a low-code interface developed by Microsoft to be able to develop low-code applications, to be able to develop low-code automations. That's what Microsoft Power Platform is all about. It's developed by Microsoft for low-code developers like you and I, for individuals like you and I that don't have so much knowledge in programming language, but you want to bring your software ideas, your application ideas and automations idea to life. That's why Microsoft developed this interface called Microsoft Power Platform to bring our app ideas to life, and it comprises of 5 key components. The Microsoft Power Platform comprises of 5 key components. We have Power Apps, we have Power Automate, Power BI, Copilot Studio, and Power Pages. And what is this Power Apps? It's for building application, for building custom-made business application. You can quickly develop applications with minimal coding knowledge. That's what Power Apps is all about. You can develop this application with just minimal coding knowledge. That's Power Apps inside Microsoft Power Platform. It's for developing application. And we also inside Microsoft Power Platform we have Power Automate. It's for developing automations, creating automations, developing repetitive tasks. That's what Power Automate is about. You see, everything is you needed is already inside this Microsoft Power Platform. You want to develop application, Power App is there for you. You want to develop Power Automate, you want to develop automations, Power Automate is there for you. It's for automating workflows. And Power BI, these are for data analysts. If you want to, about data analysis, you want to analyze data, that's Power BI is all about. It's for visualizing and analyzing data. Inside Microsoft Power Platform itself, we have Power BI. And also we have Copilot Studio. Before, it used to be called Power Virtual Agent. Before, it's now rebranded and called Copilot Studio after the release of Copilot. I'm sure everybody know Copilot. Copilot is an artificial intelligence assistant, just like ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini. That's Copilot. So we have Copilot Studio. Copilot Studio is to create no-code intelligent AI agents. All right, AI assistant, AI agent. If you are the type that have AI ideas, you have I wish I can develop an AI agent that can do this for me. Copilot Studio is there for you to bring that ideas where you can develop your own artificial assistants, your own agents, AI artificial intelligence agent to aid to make you more productive at work. That's Copilot Studio. And we have Power Pages. Is to develop low code secure websites. Is to build low code external facing website. That's Power Pages. All right, that's Power Pages. Now the next thing we are going to go into now is getting started with Power Apps. But before you go into Power Apps, I'll show you how to get access to this Microsoft Power Platform. There are two ways to get access to it. You can get a developer account from Microsoft, or you can also do a demo here, and you might want to try later to what you learn in this training. You might want to practice it. So I'll show you two ways of how you can get an account within the Microsoft Power Platform and try and practice what you've learned. Okay, but don't worry, after this training, this PowerPoint presentation will be sent to every one of you to your email address and embedded with the links to get access to Microsoft Power Platform. So you can create a developer account, or you can try 30 days free trial. So let me share my screen. Let me share my browser. But before I go into that, let me quickly talk about getting started with Power Apps. Within Power Apps, please hang on a second. I want to share my screen. Okay. Okay. Now, this is, if you can see my screen, please confirm you can see my screen. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. So I want to get the link for everyone. So I'll show you how to create a developer account within the Microsoft Power Platform. Okay. There's a link I want to show you guys. Where did I save this link? Hang on a second, please. Sorry. Okay. And you go to powerapps.com. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, good. This is what I want to show you guys, how you can get started within the Microsoft Power Platform. So here is the link. There's the link. Let me drop it in the chat here. Let me drop it in the chat. So everything will be sent to your email address. Just don't worry. I'll give you everything will be sent to your email address. All right. So once you are here, So I'm interested in Power Apps, right? So because if you want to get a developer account, so this is just need to do is let's go down. Okay, can you see? You see, developer account starts free. I already have an account, so this is what you just need to do. The link I pasted in the chat, you visit your browser, then you scroll down, you select Power Apps from the product, you see Power Apps, then you scroll down, you see developer account free. You try for free, but you need, if you are still a student, you can use your student email address. You can use a work account, or you can create, because you see, enter your work or school email to get started. If you have a school email address, it will be very, because you can never use, you can't use your personal email address, it won't be accepted. Before, our personal email address usually used to be accepted, but now it's no longer accepted. You use your school email, your work or school email address to create a developer account. Then you can create Power Apps and Power Automate with that. So but that's not what we are going to do right now. I already have an account with them, so let me continue. So we pass this, pass this. So getting started with Power Apps, there are two types of app we can create within the Power Apps. All right, within Power Apps, there are two types of app we can create. I'm still going to show you how to access Power Apps, how to create this application, and how to do all this. I want to first take care of the theory part, but we'll go to the practical aspect. There are two types of Power Apps inside Microsoft Power Platform that you can create. The first one is Canvas app and model-driven app. What is Canvas app? Canvas app is an app where you design the user interface from scratch, all right, with blank screen, and design the layout freely using drag and drop. Okay, now there's one thing I want to explain within this Canvas apps. If you are good with Excel, if you are good with Excel, because inside Canvas app there's a language we usually use to communicate, which is called PowerFX. I'm still going to get into that so you understand what I mean by PowerFX. PowerFX is the programming language that we use when we want to create a Canvas app, a low-code language that we use to bring our app idea to life. I will show you everything when we get to the practical aspect. And the second app you can create within Power App is called model-driven app. It's an app that builds itself based on your data model in Dataverse. Now, there's something we call Dataverse inside Microsoft Power Platform. You might be wondering what is Dataverse. Dataverse is a secure cloud-based data platform by Microsoft. All right, it's more or less like a table that you interact with inside Excel, but this is a cloud-based because Microsoft Power Platform integrates with Dataverse-based Microsoft Power Platform is connected to. All right, it's a cloud-based platform by Microsoft that stores and manages data used by business applications. So we're actually going to go into when I go to Power Apps, you will see how Dataverse looks like. All right, so those are the two apps you can create within Microsoft Power Apps. All right, Microsoft Power Apps. Now let's get into the demo. Let's build a sample application. Now let me show you how Power Apps look like, how Dataverse looks like, how you can develop a low-code business application that you can use within an organization. All right, so now let me go ahead and share my whole screen. Okay, now yes, this is the Power Apps that I was talking about. To get a developer account, just go after this training. I will send you this PowerPoint presentation included with the link, and this link was if you are the type, if you are with your laptop, you can let's just do this practical together, because this is a workshop. I want to show you how you can develop your own application, how you can develop your own automation. The theory aspect is just to get you have a brief understanding of what we want to do here today. Now, if you are with your laptop, you can do practical with it, but if you are not, no problem. But just make sure you are learning something from this training. Make sure you are learning something from this training. Please, if you can hear my voice and you can see my screen, please show some reaction, or you can talk to me. Please let me know I'm not talking to myself, please. If you can see my screen and if you can hear my voice, show reaction, or you say yes, we can see your screen and I can hear your voice. Thank you for that. Thank you. Now, Let me bring this up. Okay. Let me close this. Just want to open my email address. Okay. Now, there are two ways you can access Power Apps to bring your app ideas to life. There's a link called make.powerapps.com. All right. You remember when I talked about the two applications you can develop within the two applications I talked about that you can develop within Power Apps, Canvas app and model development. Now we want to develop a Canvas app live now. We want to design a Canvas app live now. Now we call inside Power Apps, we used to call this is called Maker Studio, because you are the developer. You need to have your own environment where you develop your own application. So we call that place a studio. It's called Maker Studio because you are the maker. I'm the one making the application. Maker Studio. And to access the Maker Studio, we use make.powerapps.com. make.powerapps.com. So when you log into make.powerapps.com, after you've got your developer account or you sign up for 30 days free trial, you can also try 30 days free trial. If you are not able to get developer account, you can come here, try for free. You can try 30 days free trial to get yourself familiarized with this interface. You can use your personal email address, or if you want to get a 30 days trial, you can use your personal email address. But if you need to get developer plan, you need to use your school email address or work email address. So, but for 30 days trial, you can use your personal email address just for 30 days trial. All right. So now I have already gotten that down. When you go to make.powerapps.com and you log in with your credentials, you'll be presented with this interface. So you'll be presented with this interface. Can you see? This is my own developer environment. When you presented with this interface, you'll be presented with your developer's environment. This is the interface when you log in. Now let me take a tour with you to understand how this interface looks like. So this is the home button. If you need to create an application, when you click on create, you're still going to get that. This is I'll also give you a link where you can learn more. This is if you want to learn some tutorials to get yourself familiarized with it. The apps that you've created in your environment. Now, for those who don't know that this might look like I'm not perfect. Like if this is your first time of kind of see what is called Power Apps or Power Automate, I'll still kind of go more into this, but because of this, I might not want to go deep into it. It's just to develop an app, develop automation, and just get ourselves familiarized with this interface. I won't go more deeper into this. All right. So once you go to make.powers.com, now there will be a default environment when you are creating a developer account. There will be a default environment assigned to this account. This is my own default environment, but you can also create an environment using the Microsoft Admin Center. But I'm not going to go more into that. I just want to show how you can develop application and how you can develop your own automations. All right. So I don't want to go more into, because if I go more into this, because I don't want to take most of our time. So I just want to get you all familiarized with this interface. Now, in this my own environment, I've already selected, I've created many environments inside this Maker Studio. I have my environment. I have Copilot Dev Camp environment. This is default. You see, if I go over to this place, you see, this is a default environment. But it's always advisable when you log into your Maker Studio. It's always advisable to create a new environment. Now, if you want to create a new environment, that's by going to the admin center. Now, let me go to the admin center where you can create a developer environment. Now, let me go here. When you log into this, you see Power Platform Admin Center. You can have access to the admin center and create a new environment. Can you see these are the 5 components I talked about that Power Platform but you see, this is Power Automate, this is Power BI, this is Power BI, this is Copilot Studio, and I'm already inside Power Apps already. So this is Power Apps to create application inside Microsoft Power Platform. All right. So now I want to go to the admin so you can know how I was able to create all these two environments here, because inside Maker Studio you can have more than one environment. You can, let's say you want to develop different applications. I don't want it to be in the same environment. Maybe in an organization you have different departments like IT department, you have production department, you have logistics department, and you want each application to department to have their own environment. You might create different environment. Okay, this environment should be for production, this environment should be for IT department, this environment should be for logistics. Depends on your business scenario. And you can also have developer environment, because inside Maker Studio there are 3 types of environments you can have. We have production environment, we have developer environment, and we also have trial environment. Trial environment, for those of you who's going to have a 30 days trial environment, you can have a trial environment to bring your app ideas to life, to develop your own application. Okay, to bring your own app ideas to life. I just want you to guys to understand how to create your own environment, so you can also start developing your own business application. Now to create an environment, you will go to through the admin center. You go to the admin center, and here is the admin center. You want to go to admin.powerplatform.microsoft.com, log into a credential where you want to create an environment. All right, but I already create an environment here. I'm still waiting for this to load up, so you can see how to create an environment. You can develop own applications. All right, so while that is waiting, let me still get you guys familiarized with this, with the interface here. Inside this Maker Studio, there are default tables. Now, remember I talked about Dataverse. This is how Dataverse looks like. Let me show you. This is when I click on tables. All these tables here, they are inside. Let me change this inside the body. Let me change to my environment where I'll be developing this application. Yes, this, you see, I've switched to another environment. This is still another environment. You can switch between environment, depends on how many environments you have in your organization. So this is another environment. So environment is just like, let me break it down to where you can understand. Environment is like, okay, inside this environment I have different components, I have different applications. Okay, let's say where your house is inside the streets. All right, inside the streets, inside an environment. I'm just, for we developer, I know if you have, I'm trying to talk about what to mean by environment. Okay, environment, probably app, automations, everything will be inside an environment. All right, so now inside an environment, Microsoft already help us create some default table, some tables that they think you can use within your within your organization, that helps within your business, that helps in your business processes. Okay, these are different tables. You see now, this is how Dataverse look like. We are already inside. This is Dataverse. Okay, the tables here, these are called Dataverse tables. All right, all these tables you are seeing here, this table, as you immediately you create an environment, all this will be automatically created inside this Dataverse environment, because every environment you create within Power Apps, within Maker Studio, they are all saved inside Dataverse. Can you see? When I go over, bring my cursor here, and you see data platform, Dataverse, environment type, developer, my role admin, environment is the name of my, can you see? So you are, because Dataverse is the data source that Microsoft Power Platform integrates with. Okay, Power Apps, every application you create, they are all saved inside Dataverse. You get that? Because there's not every application, everything always have a database. See Dataverse as a database, just like you have Excel spreadsheet. Excel is like a database where you have different tables, name, contact, email address. So see this Dataverse like an Excel as well. The way you see Excel, see this Dataverse, but just like this one is, the difference is just that this one is cloud based. This is a cloud based data platform. That is Dataverse. Okay, now inside Dataverse you can create we have standard tables and custom tables. All these tables that are auto created by Microsoft, they are called standard tables. All right, they are called standard tables. And also any table you create within Dataverse, they are called custom table. The table you create yourself is called custom table inside Dataverse. All right, so you see, if I create this, if I open this account table, you see, this is Dataverse. All right, this is Dataverse, because you might be wondering, all this application I'm creating, all this I'm doing, all this table, where are they being saved? They are saved inside Dataverse. It's a cloud-based data platform inside Microsoft Power Platform. All right, so this is Dataverse. These are tables. You see, inside tables, can you see these are columns? There are different columns inside these tables. So I believe you all can still hear me.
Yes, sir. I can hear you loud and clear.
So I'm just waiting for this to load up. Okay. Thank God. Thank you for confirming that. Okay. So I'm waiting for this to load up. Sorry for the network. So now inside this Dataverse, we have tables. So these are called standard tables. Once you create an environment, has this been loaded? This is still loading. Okay, yes. Oh, network. So sorry. I want to show you how you can create your own environment, because once you have started, once you're able to set up 30 days free trial, the way I showed you here, if you want to try what we learned today, you can try for free for 30 days. You can create a developer account. Now, if you're able to create this developer account, now this is how you can create your different environments inside Microsoft Power Platform. So these are the admin center looks like. Power Platform admin center. Now, let me try and create a new environment just for a test. Then I'm going to delete this. So when you go to manage, you click on manage here. Here you can see different environments I have inside Power Platform. These are different environments I have, because every application you want to create, it needs to be in an environment. So it's always advisable when you want to do for it, try bringing maybe for a test, it's always advisable to create your application, everything you test in a developer environment, because anything you create inside the developer environment, you are not going to be charged for it by Microsoft, because Microsoft understand you are still trying to test, you are trying to bring your app ideas, trying to practice. It's for practice. That's a developer environment. Now, as you can see, I have two environments here. These two environments are called developer environment. Now, if you want to create a new environment, it's just here new. Once you click on this new, you choose a name. Let me name this one 703 Solutions. That's my brand name, 703 Solution. So please take notes. If you are creating an environment, don't tick make this manage, because when you click make this manage environment, anything you create inside manage environments, you will be charged for it. All right, that is if you are ready to start using this in the production. Probably you are done with testing and you want to introduce this within your organization, that you want to start using it. So if you want to start using it, that's when you make it manage. Then Microsoft will start charging you for using their products. But if you are still testing, always don't on this make this manage environment. All right, make this. So if you have a security group, we are not going to go much. Let's just leave this as default like that. Get new features early, you can select this. All right, so type. Now this way you can select the type of environment. Now I want to make this developer, because I'm still testing. You make it developer environment. But production is for, these are the environment type you can create within the Power Platform system. You can create trial environment, you can create developer, you can create production, you can create trial and sandbox. Sandbox also is more or less like you are still testing. After line you might want to delete it. That's like a sandbox. But the developer environment, you are still testing as well, testing your ideas, trying to test what you've learned. The production environment is for after you are done creating the application and is ready to be rolled out to everybody to start using. It's ready. Okay, now you have created this and you want everybody to start using it. That's when you now move into production. and your production environment will always be managed environment. And once you move that application to production, Microsoft will start charging you, because anything inside production environment is automatically known as pay. Yes, you start using it, that's when Microsoft will start charging you for the service you are using. You use their services. But once you are still inside developer environment, is Microsoft understand you are still testing. Now to make this developer, then you click on next. I'm showing you how to create an environment. Click on next. You can leave that. Now you might want to select, maybe you have a domain and you might want to, but for let's just leave that as where it is. Then you must click on save. If I click on save, now the environment will start is going to start being created. Okay, you see that the environment is loading environment. So this is how you, if I create this now and I go back to my power and go back here, it's going to show here. But let's wait. Let me see. Well, it's still preparing. I want to show you so you can know how to create an environment. So if you are the type that have many departments in your organization and you want each application to be in different environment, so you can be able to track, okay, this is for production environment, because in a department you can roll out more than one application for that department to be using. Maybe in, like, let me cite instances. Maybe in your production environment, your production department, you have, like, when you want to do production management, want to go on a project like project management, you can have an application for that to manage projects. That will be for production department. Inside that same production department, you want to also develop another application, maybe for ticket system for that production department. So you might want to have different environments and have like 10 applications inside different environment. Depends on how you want it. So I'm still waiting for this to be marked as ready. So once it is ready and I come here, you will see it's going to be listed as my list of environments. But I'm still waiting for it to pop out to still change to this Outlook. Still waiting. It's still preparing. So let's leave that. Let me just move on. So this is standard tables. Let me just move on. I just want to show you. So that's how you can create environment. Then you can start testing what you're going to learn here. So that's yeah. Can you see now? It has now appeared. So if I come here, can you see now? The environment I created is now appeared. Oh, one more thing. Sorry, I did not select. Oh, if you notice here, can you see that it says, oh, can you see no database found? That's because when I was selecting, thank God this happened, because these are the kind of thing you might experience. That's because when I was creating this environment, I did not select a database. Can you see data platform? None. Let me go back to this environment now. And I click on, if I select this, I did not select environment when I was creating it. Oh, my bad. Let me go back to environment. Because when you're creating an environment, you must have a database for that environment, so that anything you are creating, they must have a database to save them. Let me refresh this. Oh, I did not select a database. That's why it's being shown in other environments. All right. So let me come back here. Still preparing. I did not select database. Oh, still preparing. While that is being done, I'll go back to that later. So once I've set the database, so it's not going to show here, then you can start now. Let's now let's set an instance. Let's say in a business, in our organization, this is the kind of application I want to develop here live now. Let's say in our organization, we have we are using a coffee. There's a coffee machine in our organization that we use. All right, probably when we go on break, we usually go to that coffee machine, take some coffee. But anytime the coffee machine got damaged, to request for a new one, we always communicate different email address, send email address to the manager, different tons of communicate through the email address. That's a manual effort, right? Now we are trying to solve a manual effort here and trying to automate this, because these are the way you can be. We are trying to apply this knowledge in the normal business scenario. Let's say an organization, we have a coffee we always use, and when this coffee machine gets damaged, we always do some tons of email communication. We send email to the manager will respond until the manager approves it before we can now place an order for the coffee and buy another one. Now this coffee machine got damaged, I want to order another one. Now you as a local developer inside that organization, organization. You know, I think I can solve this kind of problem. Instead of trying to do manual communication through email address, why don't I develop an application for this, whereby an employee can just log in, ask for another coffee, machine, send it to the manager within the application, send it to the manager, an automation kicks up at the back end, send an automation and a notification to the manager, send an approval to the manager, then the manager approves, the notification come back to you that the manager has approved without even any manual email communication. You automated all this process and you develop an application for this process. Tell me, won't your boss be so happy with that? Wow, this is a digital solution. This is good. Trust me, your boss will be so much happy with you. Now, let's not develop that kind of application right here now and that automation, and how to develop simple automations that can assist us in our normal day business task. Now, okay. Now, I want to say, as now this is this ready yet? So once you are inside make.powerapps.com, these are standard tables. Now, if you want to create an application, you see here that says create. This is where you can bring your app ideas to life. These are flow, this is solutions, data flow, agents. We are not going to see this one is another training that we are not going to go into this. So the more you tell me more about it, you understand all this. But I don't want to bore you more. But we just want to do a live demo and how you can create application. And so I don't want to go more deep into this. So I don't get too bored because so now once you click on create, you can start with. There are 4 ways you can create an application. You can start with Copilot. Copilot is an artificial intelligence AI assistant. You can just describe for Copilot, this is the kind of business scenario I want to solve. Come up with an application for this. You can do that, and if you already have a data, because every application you want to develop, you can have a data for it. There must be a data for it, because obviously every coffee machine you order, it will always be documented. Let's say in an Excel spreadsheet, probably okay, the name of the coffee, the amount you bought it, the day it was approved by the. It's going to be documented inside an Excel spreadsheet. Now let me show you a sample of it. Now let's say in my organization, every coffee machine we order, every coffee machine. Oh God. Oh, internet. Shit. Hello, can you hear me now? Sorry, the network kind of. Oh, I lost you guys in some. Hello,
I can hear
can
you.
you all hear me now?
I can hear you.
Please confirm me. Oh,
I can hear
sorry,
you. I
the
can
net.
hear you.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yes, I can hear you.
The network kind of. Okay. Thank you. Okay. All right. Thank you. So, okay, now this is ready. Now let me go back to this. Let me show this environment if it's going to, because I didn't select a database, or probably it's because it was still in preparing state. So let me refresh this. Oh God, network. So sorry. Okay. So now that this environment has been successfully created, now let's now see it in our list of environments. So sorry, the network is kind of giving me issue here. So sorry. Let me switch to another network. Please give me a few minutes. I want to switch to another network, please. The network is kind of and it's get ah. Let me quickly switch to another network, please. Yes. Now can you see the environment now? So the reason why this was not showing, the reason why it was not popping out here before, it was because it was still in preparing mode. So I guess I selected the database. It was still in preparing mode. That's why it was not showing here. Now everything is now. Can you see now? So the more you create environment, you see all your environment will start listing out here. So that's how to create an environment. So that's not what we are here for. That's what I just want to show you that. So now I want to create now this now this is the Excel spreadsheet I was trying to talk about. Let's say in our organization, this is sample data we have inside the spreadsheet. Because every application you are trying to develop, it needs a database. You are getting that data from somewhere. Power Apps, Microsoft Power Platform can connect to various. Let's say, for example, now you have. You see, if I select, so I said earlier that you can create with Copilot. You can create with your existing data, start with data, and you can start with a blank canvas. Even there are different ways you can also create an application. You can start from, there are thousands of templates you can select from. We have different templates already have in design that you can just use, then edit it to your taste. For example, if the type of application you want is to be able to capture meeting within your organization, we have, but I'm not going to go into that. I just want to develop an application from scratch. All right. No, I have an exact data here. Let's say in that organization, every coffee machine they order, once it's damaged and they requested for another one, there will be new. They always document everything inside an Excel spreadsheet, whereby once they've ordered it, maybe the HR will have to go to the Excel spreadsheet here, then try to input it manually after several tons of email conversation with the manager after approval. Then you have to come here manually and input the machine name that was approved, the machine name, the color, the type of the description of the machine, the feature, the machine ID, the price you bought is, the type of the machine. All right, now let's assume those are the data you always have, and you are trying to automate this and trying to develop an application for this. Now this is a sample data, all right, that I already have already. Let's say these are the sample data. Now if you notice here, I have a column named photo. Yes, every picture, because every picture of the coffee that we always have, I save everything in, there's a picture of everything in a cloud base, because every application you are developing, they are all saved in the cloud. All right, it's now this column is a link to the picture of all the coffee machine we always order from probably from our partner that sells coffee. All right, so all these link, I created a table and added all the link inside this photo and added all the link to the picture. Now I want to use this Excel spreadsheet to create an application so that we won't have to communicate with this Excel spreadsheet anymore. All you just have to do is request a machine using the application, and the data of that machine will be automatically infilling here. Or every machine you always want to order, all the data is coming here, because these are the type of machine you always order. I got a list. Let's say you already got a list of every machine, and because you already know the type of machine you always use within your organization and you already documented everything, and you want to build an application for them so that they can be able to interact. Okay, now let me go into, I want to start with data. Okay, now once you click on start with data, that you can either, like I said, if your data exists in another database, you can bring in that data source into Microsoft Power Platform to develop your own application. Let's say connect to external data. We have tons of database. You can connect your app. Your data can be coming from SQL, from SQL database, can come from Excel spreadsheet, can be coming from SharePoint. It can be coming from, I'm sure there are different data sources you can connect your application from. For example, if I click on connect to external data source, you see you can connect from SQL, from SharePoint, from Excel. There are different data sources. Select SharePoint from that's if you want to use SharePoint, Excel, SQL. So these are the three data sources you can connect your application to. And if I select existing tables, this is if I want to use data vars. All right, like I said, Microsoft Power Platform, every data, every application, it saves your tables. If you want to create a table, your table, you can save them inside data vars. And you can also choose to create a new table. If I decide to create a new table now, this table will be saved inside data vars. But remember, I already have an Excel spreadsheet here that I want to bring in this data into data vars. I can import this Excel spreadsheet. Then I will decide to say I want to import this Excel spreadsheet into data vars so that my app can be living inside data vars, instead of us trying to use Excel every time and trying to input this manually. Now let's create an app that are going to bring in this data from Excel into data vars. So sorry. Please, can you all hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I don't know this. How is the network doing like this today? Let me. Okay, in that case, we just switch to. So sorry, please. So sorry, please. I had to switch to another network. Please, I'm so sorry for keeping you guys waiting. I had to switch to another network. So, okay, now, good. Now, I want to create an application for within my organization to be using the application to request for a coffee machine once it gets damaged. Okay, remember I have an exec spreadsheet and I want to bring this data over to Dataverse. I can still choose. Okay, I want to import this. Let me select this. So I desire to import. So see how I will turn this data into an application. So inside this I have different tables here, but I'm only going to use this. Let me uncheck this, then import. So can you see every of the, okay, I want to import this, import this, import this, import this, this, and save. Can you see every of the column here? Those are the columns I select to import everything. Then remember I told you can create two applications, Canvas app or model driven app. But I want to create a Canvas app now. Then I select, then save and open. Yes, save and open. Can you see? Now this data is going to be turned into a business application that we can use within our organization. Now let's wait while within the Maker Studio is trying to join everything together and turn this into an application. You see, I haven't even written any code. I have not even done anything. I just import the data source I want to use, the exact spreadsheet I want to use, then I turn it into an application without using any code. All these were done by Microsoft at the back end. All I just need to do is bring in my data, then I import it, then it turns into an application. Okay, this is how the Canvas app interface looks like. Now this is going to turn into an application whereby I can start editing to how I want it to be, input a form, and inside the Maker Studio that we have forms. Forms is when you want to collect data. You know, inside the application you want everybody to input data. Okay, you use form to collect data. We have buttons to take an action, button whereby after you are done filling this form, you want your user to be able to click a button so that they can submit submit the coffee they want to request for. That's the function of a button. You can use button to take an action. We have forms, we have gallery. Gallery is to view what's inside a data source. All right, can you see now? This has turned into an application. Now see, remember I talked about power effects. All right, remember I talked about power effects because inside Canvas app, we use power effects to do some manipulation to how we want this to be. See, this is a gallery. If you notice, this is a gallery. See, this was auto-created by the system itself. I didn't do anything. I just imported in my data and it just turned this into an application for me. But I want this to be now. I'm just going to change this. I want this to be showing the coffee machine name. You see, this item dots. Now, this is more or less like if you know how to use Excel very well and you know Excel formulas. This is a low code programming language. This is more or less like an Excel formula, but it's just a little bit advanced than Excel. So if you really want to know how to use power apps very well, to know how to develop applications in power apps, you need to know more of power effects. It's very, very easy to know. Now I want this to be showing. Now, this is the formula bar. We call this formula. This is the formula bar. These are actions that I want to take within an application. You see, auto height, color, font. If you want to change the font, on select property, text. You see, now I want this to be this item. See, dot. I want this to show the machine name. See, this is going to show the machine name. I want this to show the color of the machine. This item, let me change it to this item. This item dot color is going to be the color of the machine now, but I want this also to be able to show the picture of the machine. All right, I want to show the picture of the machine. I can come here. Where is the? I want this to show. No. Okay, let me. Okay. Let me just do this. Don't save. I want to start afresh. So you guys can understand me. So it won't be like I'm doing magic. Let's start afresh. For those probably who joined late, let me start afresh. Okay, I want to create a new app. All right. Start with blank. Let me start from blank. Yes, this is where I want to use. Thank God for this. I want to start with blank. You can create you need to understand your user who be using. Are they going to be using are they going to be interactive from the laptop or from phone or using their phone? Most of everybody always want to feel convenience using their mobile phone to create an application using their mobile phone. Okay, let's create a phone size application. This is for phone, this is for tablet, and this is responsive. If you want it to be shown on a desktop, on a tablet, and a phone, but let's create a phone application. All right, whereby easily your employee, your co-workers can just key in their data using their phone without even if they're not with laptop. Let's start with phone. Let's create an application using phone because there's something I want to explain here. Okay. Aha. Yes. Good. Yeah. Good. You see. Welcome to Power App Studio. Here, if you start building out from blank canvas, you can create a form or create a gallery. So when I say gallery is where you want to bring in all these to display all this information inside this Excel spreadsheet. You want everything to be displayed inside a gallery. That's the function of a gallery, to display information from a data source. That's what a gallery is. When you select a gallery, now it's going to ask you to connect a data source. Yes, I want to show you to start this. We want to ask you to connect a data source. Can you see? This is a data vars. All these tables are coming from my data vars tables. But no, now we have different connectors. Yes, good. Yes, good. This is it. This is what I want us to see. You can connect your applications to different database. Okay, if you want to say, okay, I don't want to use data vars for my app. Oh, sorry. So I'm trying to I want to be sure the recording is in place because I'm using a mic. Sorry about that. You want to make sure if you are the type that okay, you want your application to be coming from another database, or you don't want to use data vars, you don't want to use Excel, you don't want to use, yes, this is where you can select different, see your connectors. Connector is just like a bridge that connects to your application. Okay, probably, okay, you want to import it from Excel, just like we are going to do now, or you want to connect it to different connectors, or you want to connect it to SQL, you want to connect it to Adobe PDF services, you want to connect it to there are different connectors. You are a developer, you have an API, you want that API to be connected to this application, you have different data source. They are called connectors in the Microsoft Power Platform. They are called connectors. Connectors are external, they are data sources where your application will be fetching its data from, because every application needs to have a database where they are fetching their data from. All right, now we have SQL here too. If you want to use an SQL server, you want to see, so this you can use Azure database for my SQL, that's from Microsoft. You have different, but note all these are premium connector. If you notice, premium, that means you need to have a subscription with Microsoft to be able to use this premium. But even if you are using your developer account, you can have access to all this premium connector because Microsoft knows you are still testing. But our own data application, we already have an Excel spreadsheet. We want to turn this into an application. Okay, once we already have an Excel spreadsheet, I want to use an Excel for my own database. You see, Excel, exported Excel, retain data, import from Excel. So I want to have data, I want to import it from Excel. Can select import, just like I did earlier. It's still the same thing. Okay, yes. Connect. When I you notice it's been imported now. This, if I go your data, can you see it was imported from Excel? My application is communicating with this Excel spreadsheet. Immediately I imported it, this Excel spreadsheet are uploaded into the cloud, and this is fetching this connection imported from Excel. Is fetching it because at the back end this Excel has been uploaded to OneDrive, but you don't know, but it's already fetching it from OneDrive and uploaded to Excel. You import it from Excel and it's not in the cloud already. Now this is if you want to connect it from an Excel. You can also import this Excel spreadsheet into data vars, so you can start fetching the data from data vars directly. But we've already imported this. I'm still going to import it against data vars. We are going to use different data sources of how you can use this Excel spreadsheet into and the different data source. So this is the gallery. This is the gallery, sorry. If I click on this, because I can select the layers I want gallery to be. This is the layers. Okay, I want it to be able to show image, title, and subtitle. They are different. Depends on how you want it to show. If you want it to show image, subtitle, and body. If you want it to show image, title, and subtitle. This is what I want. Okay, I want this to be showing. I want this to show the name of the machine, this item. I'll change this to this item dot machine name. If you notice, it's going to show the name of the machine. Guys, the machine is now shown. I want to change this one to this item dot photo. You see, it's going to change to photo. It's going to, can you see? It's going to fetch the link from, let me increase this so you can see very well. You see, it fetches this photo. You might be wondering, where are this picture coming from? It's coming from this link. If I visit this link, it's going to be a picture of all those copies that is saved in GitHub in the cloud just for me to host this picture. All right. So I want that application to be fetching those pictures from it. All right. These are the samples of coffee we always request for in our organization when we go for break. Can you see these are the picture, the name? Then I want this to be this item dot I want this to be this item dot sorry. I want this to be price. This item dot price. The amount, then this one can be I still wanted to show what is it. What did I want to show again? I still wanted to show, okay, probably a little description. That word is long. You can say color, the color. The average cups, that means average cups per week. Cups that you can serve per week. Let me see this one. Let me change this one to and body. I wanted to show. I've changed this. Okay, yes. I've selected another layout. So I want this to show this item dot avg. See, yes. Then I can choose to drag this to the back to the side. You see? Can you see? Look at how I'm developing this application without even writing any line of code. You see? Okay. I want this to, or you can say, okay, I want this okay, to make this easy for us, all right, to make this easy for us, I want the system to create a 3-screen application for me automatically, because if I begin to do this, so I want this system, okay, so can you see how I'm fetching all this? Now I want to add another screen. Because we have screen. This way we can add this the home page. And anyone that come here, if I play this, see, this is just a mobile phone. Okay, if I play this, I want to add another screen. I want to add a blank screen. Now I want to insert a form here, that display form. I want this to be display. So add a form to be machine. Then connect data, this. It's already been connected. Data. It's already been connected. Yes, and I want this one to be, the default mode will be form mode. Sorry. Sorry. The form is it? Because you need to select, you need to call data. Oh god, data source. This of course. Why is this not popping out? Okay, you know what? Let's do this. Sorry. Let me import this into. Don't save. Sorry. Let me import this exent into Dataverse directly. So maybe it's because it's, I don't know what's going on. Let me import this into Dataverse directly itself. Because we are still going to create an automation into this. Oh god. I don't want this. This is going to create a tablet application for me, and that is not what I want. Okay, let me go to tables. Let me import my own table. Let me import data from Excel. Then I want it to create an application for it for me. So I hope you are seeing my screen. Just note the way I'm creating this application. All right. So once I want to import this Excel so I can create so that my data now lives inside Dataverse. So my data will no longer be inside this Excel spreadsheet. So I think so. I want to import this. I want to make this to live inside Dataverse. All right, because Microsoft connects swiftly very well when you use Dataverse as a data source. Your apps communicate effortlessly. So I think I want my data to live inside Dataverse. Okay. Okay. What's data? Oh no. Create with Excel. Hey, this is what I'm looking for. I already imported this. What's going on? Yes. Not this. Not this. Just this. Oh, this is going to create a three screen for me. Oh, this is not what I want. Is machine typing all this? Okay, yes, it's there. Okay, photo, this. I want them to be able to see the photo. Okay, yes, I created it. Remember I said I created a table. Okay. What was the name? Machines, right? Okay, yes. I think this, yes. Okay. Okay, yes, yes, good. So can you see the table I imported? This was the table that I imported. Okay, now I can use this to create an app. So notice when I imported this Excel spreadsheet into Dataverse, because now my data now lives inside Dataverse. This is Dataverse. This is the database I've stored. This is Dataverse. Now I can decide to create an app. Aha, yes. Let me name this coffee machine application. Coffee machine. No, not model-driven app. Come on. This is creating a model-driven app for me. We are not a model-driven app yet. Oh. I'm not creating this is a model-driven. I'm not creating a model-driven app, please. I am not creating. Let me create this. Start with data. Start with blank canvas phone. Yes. Oh. I don't even want to. I want this to be a phone. I want it to be a phone. Oh God. Okay. Let me do this. Start with data. Let's see what this comes. Select existing table. Let me go to custom, coffee machine, create app. This is going to create a 3D screen for us. Waiting for it to load up. Well, I guess we are going to use this. Let me use this then. Let me change this gallery. But this is not, I want it to show. Let me first save this app name. Okay. Coffee machine. Coffee machine, you save. Let me just save that. Let me change incoming. I want to be able to add picture to this. I don't know where the properties are. Okay. Gallery. Let me select the gallery. Change. Okay, yes. So you see how I'm. Oh, yeah, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. Okay, now I want to change this gallery to be able to see picture. Right? Change picture and just picture, image, and the title like this. Okay, yes, good. Aha, yes. Yes. So do you see how I play this, play this, play this, play this, play this, play this. Let me change it to iPad. Okay. Can you see how I was able to develop this application? All I did was just I imported the Excel spreadsheet into Dataverse. Can you see? Now, how do you now begin to, okay, let me change this to, okay. I want them to be able to name the picture. Remember, this photo is the link of all this. You notice that? Now I want to change the price. Okay. I want them to be able to, okay, this is the one they want. Then to select, then submit, send this to the manager for approval. Okay, this is what they want. Okay. Let me insert new form. I want to insert new screen. That whenever they select this, okay, wait, let me play this. Okay, new screen. I can make this one to be blank and say, I can make this one to be blank. Start with data, machine. Oh, let me close some tab. Let me close this. Let me close this. Let me close this. Let me close this. Okay. This is not what I want. Not this. Not this. Let me delete this. Delete this to insert edit form or inputs. Edit form, coffee machine. So notice now, you notice I went to insert. I inserted edit form because I want them to be able to select a coffee machine here. Then once they select a coffee machine here, they'll be directed to this screen to say, okay, this is the one they want. Then there will be a button here that said submit for approval, like submit to the manager to approve. Okay, this is the coffee they are requesting for, that this has been damaged, and this coffee and this is the another coffee machine they are requesting for. All right, now you need to do, all you just need to do is insert a form. A form is to collect data. Then once they've collected the form, what do you want to do? You want them to be able to submit. Once they should submit, and then after submission that should be sent to the manager for approval, that okay, this the managers approve this coffee machine, so that they will bring it to the office, they can start drinking coffee. All right, okay, now this is the edit form I selected. Then all I need to do is I will insert a button. Notice, inside this button, and what I want this button to do, I want them to be able to submit. I can change the name to submit for approval. Submit for approval. Okay, then after that, then I go select. It means upon selecting this button, on select is an action. That upon selecting this button, what do you want this button to do? What do you want it to do? I want it to submit for manager's approval. Okay, submit for manager approval. Then I just need to there's a function called submit form. These are Power FX function. Submit form. What's the name of this form? This form 3. It's asking for form 3. All right, so can you see? Meaning any data I input here and I click on this button, it will be submitted and added to this database. Let me open a new tab here. Let me open a new tab here. Let me open a new tab here. So you can see the database I'm talking about. So these are the tables. Okay. So, and how will they go to this screen? It's upon when they select on this coffee machine. I want to see. So this is when you select. Can you see? When you select, you'll be okay. Now there's some things I want there. I don't want the users to see. Like this, I want to remove this. I want to delete this. The photos already here already. I want to remove this. I just need to select it, then press on delete. Remove this. Yes. Price, machine type ID. You remove this. I want to remove this. So meaning any coffee that I selected here, the details will be shown here. Right? Meaning any coffee you select here, can you see this is the details of every coffee? Can you see how easy it was to develop this application? Now, what's the next thing I need them to do? That upon when they select anyone here, they should go to the next screen, then they should submit it for approval. All right? Okay. When they select one here, select. So these are the list of coffee we have that each employee can request for replacer. All right. Probably, okay, one coffee has been damaged. I want to select, then every employee should select any coffee here, then submit it for manager's approval. The next thing I'm going to do is, it's supposed to be, I will create another table. All right. I'll create another table whereby that I will name it coffee machine request. That every request they request, it will be sent to this table, then get sent to the manager to approve. Then I want to create a new table here. New table. Let me create a new. I want to create a new table inside Dataverse. All right. I'm creating a new table now, because before my application already asks a table. That table is the one that stores every information, every date, every coffee we always request for within our organization. Obviously, we all know the coffee, but I need it to be shown in an application for them to make a request for that coffee machine. Then it's getting sent to the manager to approve. So that's what we are trying to make it. Before, this process is usually to be back and forth in a communication with the manager, but now we are going to automate this so that there will be limit time you communicate. We send different type you send manual emails, but it's going to be automated. All right. So you select this. We already use it. I think I was hoping this training is going to be just 11 to 1. They're already spending more time. Let me just start from blank, because I want you guys to really understand how this works. So let me just say the name of the machine. Or let me just duplicate this. Instead of that, let me just do like this. Okay. There's something we call on select. I'll change this to on select. See, on select. I want this to be should navigate on select of this. I want this to, I'll add another function. There's another function called navigate. navigate to screen. What's the name of the screen? What's the name of this screen? Screen 1. Screen 1, yes. You see, screen 1. So let me play. When I select this, see, okay, yes, good. Can you see? I'm trying. When I select this, it's going to navigate me. That's because I have selected this. That's the coffee machine. Because you can browse through, or that's not a good user experience. I should be able to read, okay, how much is this? How much is this? Let me insert a new button into this. Let's insert a new button into this. Let's say, let me insert a new button. Insert a new button into this and say, wait, this item, and say, I can say, so in this button here, in this form, the property should be, let me go to item. We'll go to gallery 1, meaning what I'm trying to do. Now, let me show what I'm trying to do here. Let me show what I'm trying to do here. This is record gallery 1 dot selected. Note the name of this. Let me rename this record gallery. Let me rename this Control A, Control Z. So I'm trying to make this practical enough. All right, try to make this practical enough. Let me go here to this form. And I go to this form 3 and I change this, the item to record gallery dot selected. Meaning, what does that mean? Meaning, come in. Record gallery. What was the name? Manual rights with the name. Sorry. So sorry. Screen 1. Yes. Move on to, okay, record gallery 1. Yeah. Sorry. It's record gallery 1. Okay. Let me just note that name. Then I come back here to, I change this item of this to record gallery 1 dot selected. So meaning any record I select here, that's what we show here. Then I can now decide to submit for approval. All right, then I can now decide to submit for approval. Okay, now let's do that now. Then I come here, then I use submit form. Okay, which means submit for approval. All right, so do you understand the logic here now? Do you get the logic now? Meaning any record, any coffee you select here, then you can select this button to submit it for approval. All right, submit it for approval. So are you understanding the logic? Please let me know if you can hear me. Are you understanding the logic, please? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Are you following along, please? Are you learning something from this training?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We are learning something, but I'm a bit lost.
I'll open room for question and answer, so I'll be able to answer you guys' question. So you are trying, I will give room for. I don't want to be asking question now. Once I'm done, then you can ask your question, and I will do practical, ask question, do practical. So this is a workshop where you guys can learn how to create your own application in your own organization. So now, so what's the next thing we want to do now? I want this button. Okay, let's make this like this. Let's make this button to be select. Let's say, okay, let me do, okay, and I select this. Okay, yes, then submit for approval. Now I think there's one thing I need to do here. I want to make sure. Okay, so what's the next thing I want to do again? Okay, submit form. Okay, let me remove this. Let me remove this. Delete. Okay. Now, I want to use a logic. Let me use a logic, because as a developer, you must be able to think. You must be able to be you must be able to solve problem. I want to use another ideology. I want to use another scenario. Leave and discard this table. Okay. What we are trying to achieve is we want them to be able to place an order for a coffee. Now, I want it that column that will be able to select, okay, do you want to submit this for approval? That once this button is clicked, I want a column to be updated to submit for approval, that they should be able to select a column here that, okay, submit for approval. Yes, that if they select yes, that this column should be yes, that they are trying to submit for approval, and automation should kick at the back end. I'm still going to get to why I did that. I will explain that. I will explain why I did that. What's the name of my table here? Because I must be able to know the table I'm interacting with. Coffee machine. Let me try. Okay, let me add this data. I'm trying to add a new column inside this, so I want to add a new column. New column. Let me say submit for approval. So I want to make this, because we are creating a table, a column inside data vars table. We have different types of data type, because you want to select a data. We have different types of data type. We have text, we have number, data type, lookup, choice. We have currency, we have auto number, column, file, formula. Now I want to make this a choice column whereby they will select, is it they submit for approval, yes or no. Now I want to make this a choice column. Choice. I want to make them to select. I want to select a choice. Okay, this one should be yes. I should name this one 1. New choice. No. Then name this one 2. All right. Default choice should be no. Okay, none. Let's just leave this to be none. All right. So you understand why I'm doing this now. I will explain why I did this. Then I added another column into this data source we are using to create this application. All right. So I hope you guys are following along. I'm glad you guys are learning something. This is what gives me more joy. To be able to share knowledge, carry people along. Like, people should be able to learn. To develop an application shouldn't be that hard. To be productive in an organization shouldn't be that hard. And I'm so glad I was able to share my knowledge with everyone here today. So now I've added this column, which is called, why is it? Submit for approval. Yes, this is it. Okay, then close. Now I want it to be able to show here. You can edit things that you want them to be able to see inside a form. All right, inside this form, I will remove this. I don't want to be seeing the photo, because they've seen the photo already. The machine type, average cup per week. Now I want to add submit for approval. This submit for approval. It's not showing yet. Okay, let me update. Let me refresh. So it's going to show. Let me save it, so auto save will be activated. I think the data has been refreshed. Then when I go here, I want to add another field called submit for approval. Why is it not showing yet? Coffee machine. I believe it's this one. I go to columns. No, they're not. Yeah, submit for approval is there already. Submit for approval is there already. It's there, but it's not showing here. Okay. Fields. I want to show the column they should be seen and the column they can interact with. Oh, good. Submit for approval. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Oh, I hope it's not this. It should be here, right? Yeah, this is it. So why is it not showing yet? Let me refresh. So that should have been refreshed. Then when I go to this, add field, PQ, submit, is not showing yet. Wait, let me publish this version. Let me save this application first. I will explain why I did that. So let's just hold on a little bit. Because I want to explain why I added that column. So I want that column to show, but it's not yet showing yet, so that the user can select that column and select, yes, they are submitting this for approval. Why submit for approval? Oh God. Oh God. Coffee machine is not coffee machine. Save. I'll come back to this. And time has our time already. Oh yeah, people are already leaving. I'm so sorry. I already took so much time. Oh, people are already leaving. Yeah. But no problem, no problem. Let's continue. Where's the app? Okay, yeah. Let me edit this again. As you can see, this was the coffee machine already. See, this is the coffee machine app we are creating. Can you see? It's not listed in my list of apps where I can go back and edit. I want to show the reason why I added that. I'm trying to edit this again. Okay. So we don't need this one anymore. Let's delete this. We don't need this anymore. This is what we are trying to interact with. This, I want to add that field of submit for approval. Yeah, this is it. Aha, good. So it's not added. Yeah, good. Yeah, ha. So if I play it now, can you see? Submit for approval, yes, then you can select. So you see the reason why I added that. So yeah, that's it. So now, once, can you see now? Now our app is now ready. Now let me play this app. Let me play this app. If I play this one, let me go to canvas. Okay. See, if I see this is the app I selected. Okay, I don't want it that once they select, I want them to be able to still read. Now I'm going to add a button that will be able to move to the back. I'm going to add a button. Let me add a button. I can add an arrow. Let me add an icon, a back icon. Aha, back. Okay, let me add it here. Let this one go there. Yeah. This one should move here a little bit. Should move here. Can you see? It's just drag and drop interface. So back. So the back function is just this. On select, it's just this. So that will make it to go to the back. So you get that. So when they select this, when they select, say if this is what they don't want, they can go back. Okay, they select this, they can go back, select this. So I want to submit this for approval. Yes. Then once I submit, can you see? I should be able to now. I want them to be notified that it has been successfully submitted. All right. I want to add another one. Add like notification, notify. notify. I wanted it to notify. So successfully, let me say successfully submitted. All right, successfully submitted. Okay, comma. Let me do like this. See, successfully submitted. So notification type will be success. So you get the point. Notification type success, then you close. All right. So if I select this, can you see? If I say, this one is no, it's going to say successfully submitted. You get that? Can you see? So that's for that. That's why you need to be able to know this. You may once you are good with Excel formula, you'll be able to. This is all this you are seeing here is called Power FX. It's a low-code programming language to develop a low-code application. Can you see? I did not use JavaScript. I did not use CS. All those programming language, but this is a low-code programming language. Now, let me select an app. Let's play. Now our application is now ready. Now let's now go to the automation part, whereby that once a user select this, that okay, submit for approval, yes, then you submit for approval. You see, successfully submitted. All right. Now, remember I talked about Power Automate. Power Automate to create an automation with the Microsoft Power Platform. You go to make.powerautomate.com. This is it. All right. Now I want to create an automation that once a user interact with this application and submit a coffee for approval, the notification should go to the manager and say, we are trying to request a coffee, this type of coffee within our organization. So this is make.power. Let me change my environment because I'm working with this environment. You always note that. All right, I'm working with this environment, which is this. I'm working with the Copilot DevCamp environment, and that's where my automation also must be going to be inside. That can you see all my components are inside one environment. My automation is going to be in that environment. All right. So now I hope you are following along. Before I move forward, do anyone have questions related to this, how to develop an application, before we go to the automation part? Please, anybody have a question to ask? Please raise up your hand if you have a question, please, so I can answer your question before we move forward. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Please, do anyone have a question before we move forward, please?
From my end, although I apologize, I joined late, so I didn't pick up from the onset. Okay. But I hope is there an opportunity for me to possibly go back to the beginning of the video in order to have a better understanding? Because I know I still missed some things there.
Yeah, sure. The recording will be shared to everyone that joined this training. I will share the recording with everyone so you can go back, watch over it. If you need to make practical, develop your own application, develop your own automation. I will also leave learning resources that you can learn on your own that will also assist you. I will send the recording to everyone, so that's not a problem. So now I believe everyone now understand how you can. No, this is just a way for you to have an idea how to develop. I just use this as an example of how your own business scenario, your organization can be different. So this will make you have an idea of how you can turn a problem to a solution. How you can develop an application for a problem, develop automation. The problem now, I use this scenario that the problem in our organization is when a coffee gets damaged, we usually communicate with our manager. We send tons of email address before the manager now even respond and say, okay, now approve, go ahead. So I, as a developer in my organization, I kind of noticed this discrepancy. Okay, I develop this application, I gather all the coffee we usually order in an Excel spreadsheet. I note the name, the description, the picture, everything, the price they are selling it. I coupled everything in an Excel spreadsheet so I can use that data to develop an application. So I brought that Excel spreadsheet, I imported it into Dataverse, because inside Microsoft Power Platform it integrates with Dataverse database. Dataverse is just like a database. I imported this Excel into Dataverse. Then I use that data to develop an application so that my employee, my co-workers will just log into the app, just log in, order without even sending email to the manager, tons of email address, log into the app, click the coffee they want, then submit it for approval. The notification go to the manager approves, then it goes back to that the manager has approved, then we go ahead and place the order. You see, this problem, if before usually take like 5 hours before the manager respond, this before you send draft an email and before you send this, you've drastically reduced it to like 30 minutes. At least this is also a way of being more productive at work. So this is how you can leverage these tools developed by Microsoft to be productive at work, to develop application, to be a local developer, and also to be, because this is more or less like a CRM system. You can even use this Power Platform to develop a CRM system in your organization, probably an HRS system, a project management application, a ticketing management system, a leave request application. This is just an idea. There are tons of applications you can develop within your organization that you can use. This is just a problem I use this application to solve, because obviously every application you are developing, it needs to solve a problem. It needs to solve a specific problem within the organization, and it can reduce manual effort. So now that the application is ready, it's now time to develop our automations. Now this is what we call automation. We use Microsoft Power Automate. Is an automation platform where you can develop an automation with low code without writing any coding programming language. Now when you go to make.powerautomate.com, you'll be presented with this interface. You can use Copilot to draft out your own automation. You can say, okay, let me use Copilot to make this easier for us. I can say I can say I need an approval. I need an approval automation. I need an approval automation to automate approval process. This is just a way you can make things more faster, and I click on generate. Let's see what Copilot will bring out for us. I know it's going to ask me to connect my data source. Then from there you can start attaching your data source. You see, can you see? And I click on keep it and continue. You see, it's now, but I don't want to use this. If you click on continue, you see the AI already auto creates the automation for us, but I'm going to start from scratch so you can understand this. Even using Power Automate, you can connect your automation. Your automation can come from different data source, but I'm not going to use this. I just want to start from scratch. Okay, when I click on now inside an automation, now this is what we call an automation. There are two things you need to note inside an automation. There's something we call trigger and action, because when you want to create an automation, there needs to be a trigger that will get your automation to be triggered. We call event trigger and event action. Event trigger means what would they do in the organization that will make this automation to kickstart and start running at the back end. That's what we call trigger. After the triggered, an action needs to take place. So is it when they input a data into a data source, that's what and when this automation to kick out, or is it when they click a button inside this application and when this automation to kick out? So these are what all these developers do. They listen to event trigger, then automation kickstart. For example, now when you log into your bank app, you transfer money to someone and the person receive an alert. there's an automation at the back end that because that application you are seeing is connected to a table, and as you are transferring money, if you press 5,000 and you send it to the person's account, there's a table at the back end that has, I'm just for instance, that has name, account number, amount received, amount debited. Let's say, okay, you now sent money. There will be a table at the back end that is called probably amount received, and as you send it, there will be a data that is added to that database. Like as new data is added to that database, an automation kick up at the back end, which is sending an alert to the receiver. As you send that money, the automation kick up. The automation takes those information from the table, the name of the receiver, the name of amount you sent, from the bank that is coming from. Then the automation kicks up, send a notification to the person, amount to receive, because all those data, they are being sent into a database that is in form of a table, because a database is already in a tabular form. All right, a database is always in a tabular form. So events always events trigger. There's an event that will happen that will make your automation to kickstart. So that's what we mean by automation. That will mean by event trigger and event action. Because for an automation to kickstart, something needs to happen for that automation to start. And in our own scenario, it's going to be when a user, because obviously when they click a coffee machine from this app and they select yes as submit for approval, before when they don't, okay, let me select another coffee machine. When I select this one, notice that this submit approval is blank. So if I change this to yes and I select submit for approval, trust me, if I go to the database, that column is going to be changed to yes. Are you following along? That I can use that as my event trigger that will make my automation to kickstart, which means if any user change this column to yes, which means as you click on submit and you come to this data source here, and I come to this data source, now let me do an example. I want to understand from the basics so you can understand how automation gets triggered at the back end. All this application you always see, how automation always happen at the back end, so you can understand. Now when I go to this coffee machine now, let me use a record as an example. So I want to really make you to understand automation, so that in your organization, if you want to develop an automation, you might think, okay, this is what we are trying to solve. What can be the trigger for this automation? What can make this automation kickstart? Let me format this table to probably submit approval. Okay, this should show, and I want this one to machine name. I want this to be this. Okay, and I save this. I just want this as an example. Okay, let me click on this edit. So this is the database our application is getting its data from. All right, this is the database our application is getting its data from, and this is the coffee machine. These are the names and type. I know. See, these are yes and no. Let's look at this. Let me find one. Let's look at this machine. Notice this machine, Barista Light. Can you see this place is empty for now? If I go to that application and I select this Barista Light, what's the price of this one? What's the price? Let's use that price to judge. So what's the price of this Barista Light? Let's see. Barista Light is 699. Okay, let me edit it to, let me change it to probably 1 so that it will look distinctive. All right, just 5 naira. Let's say this one is 5 naira or $5. All right, that's, you do not add dollar. When I do not add dollars, it's just random numbers. This is 5 naira. Barista Light. Now let me go to this application. Now I've already edited it from the database. This data vars. These are data vars look like. This table is saved inside data vars. This is 5 naira now, and I come back here, and I come back to this application here, and I go back here. Let me search. Let me go to Barista Lights. let's go to Barrister Light. Where's Barrister Light? Let's see Barrister Light. This is Barrister Light, right? So, and it's 5 naira. Oh, it hasn't been updated yet. Let me refresh the database. Let me refresh. So that's because I've made changes in the database. It's because I haven't published this application. If I publish this, it's going to fetch the updated record, but I haven't published and I have not saved it. Let me just refresh the database and save. Let the data source be refreshed. And I save. And I save. Let's see if that's the data source I edited, Barrister Light. Yes, can you see? Yes, this is it. Aha. Let me go back. This is Barrister Light. Yes, this is Barrister Light. Can you see the price is 5 naira? Now, and I change this to yes. Okay, this is the coffee shop we want. This is the coffee machine we want. It can give us 1 to 50 calls per week. The expressors are just the details. So, and I click on submit for approval. Now, let me go back to this data source. Let me go back to this data source. Can you see? It's now changed to yes. Can you see? Where is the Barrister Light? Where is that Barrister Light? That's 5 naira. Let me refresh. You see that nothing is here before. You see, when I refresh this, it's going to change to 5. Let's see, 5. Let that be refreshed a little bit. So we are going to use that as our event trigger that immediately a changes happen in that data source. Immediately they select that column as yes. Our events, our automation should trigger and send this to the manager for approval. All right. So let me go back to that Barrister Light. Where's Barrister Light? Can you see? It's now changed to yes. Now this will be our event trigger. Now let me go back to this. When I create new flow, it's going to be automated. We have different kind of flow we can create. We have automated cloud flow. We have instant cloud flow. We have scheduled cloud flow. Scheduled means you want to give it a time for it to kickstart. Is it daily? Is it after 2 days? Is it 3 days? Monthly or yearly? But this is going to be automated with that, which means if anything happens inside this application, if anything happens here and it's changed to yes, send this for approval. Then I'll name this send for approval. All right. Now, our connector is going to be data vars. Okay. That's when a row is modified, because you are modifying that row. All right. You are modifying that row because this row inside the table we have column and rows. That's because you modify this row. You change this row to yes. So you get my point now. So now I'm not gonna come here. I'll select my table. My table is coffee machine. It should show now. My table is coffee machine. Change type. Oh, sorry. Let me change this. The change type to be. What do you mean by change type? Ah, man, you've spent 2 hours in this training now. What do you mean by change type? Oh, network. Oh, change type is not loading. Well, let me choose my table first. Is it my network? So I want to create an automation now. We're done with creating an application. We successfully created a coffee machine app where users in our company can select a machine and request for a machine. Then we need an automation that will send this for approval. Now, change type. Change type means when it is modified, because we already have a data source. That which means our employee, they are modifying this, that they want to change this to, they are sending this for approval. They are modifying this column as yes, which is modified. Then the table name is going to be coffee machine. I need to be sure because there are 2 coffee machines here. I need to be sure which one I'm using. There are 2 coffee machines here. Okay, now, okay, let me see the logical name. There are 2 coffee machines here. I want to be sure. I want to be sure I know the one I'm interacting with. Let me see the name here. Let me see the name here. Okay, CR2D5. Okay, in that case, let me go back to let me delete one. So I'll be sure I'm using the right data source. So I'll be sure I'm using the right data source. Let me use. We have two coffee machine here. Oh yeah, CR2 coffee machine, CR2 coffee machine. Okay, CR2 coffee machine 1 and CR2 coffee machine. So one is coffee machine 1 and one is ordinary coffee machine. So let me go back to the app. Which one are we interacting with? Okay, the one that doesn't have 1. Can you see the table I'm interacting? That's in my, the one that doesn't have 1. So let me go back here. Then I select this. That's our table. That's our data source. The scope is within the organization. Scope means, is it within a business unit or this will be within for the whole organization. Then I want to select column. Which column are you focusing on? That is, now there's something we call filter row. I want this to, no, let me use a condition. There's something we call trigger condition. All right, there's something we call trigger condition. I want you to check that until if, so enter a column. The column I want to be focusing on, that I want to be monitoring, because I'm not, they are not changing the old column. They are only changing this one, this row. So there's something we call logical name inside data verse. Logical name. If you want to refer to a column inside Power Automate, you are going to use the logical name. All right, and this is the logical name. When I go to columns here, when I go to submit for approval, which is this, and I select here advanced, when I go to advanced tools, copy logical name. Can you see? When I come here, select column. I want to only limit this automation to only focus on this submit approval column, not all the whole column, because within the application, this is the only column my user are only interacting with. This column, this submit for approval, this is the only column they're interacting with. So that's what I want to use in my flow. So now I want it to be that if there's something we call filter query, all right, something we call filter query. So this logical name, I'm going to select this. There's something we call old data filter query. I want to filter this automation that until they select that it is until they select yes. If they select yes, that is when this automation should send notification to our manager, which is yes, equals, there's something we call equals inside Power Automate, which that's the filter query we always use inside Power Automate, which means if this column is equal to 1, because inside data verse, if you are interacting with choices, but you might be wondering, why did I use 1? If you come here, if you come to this table here and see, yes, these are the value inside data verse. If you have a choice column, data verse interact with that column as a number, which is the value that is in front of this. So which means if the value inside this column is equal to 1, that's which means if they select yes, then the automation should kickstart, which means if submit approval equals to yes, then send approval to my manager. All right, so if it's equal to yes, send approval to my manager. Then okay, what if it's equal to yes? What do you want to do? I want to build a basic approval flow. I want to send this for approval. There's a connector. We have, like inside Power Apps, we have inside Power Automate, so we have connectors. We have connectors. Inside Power Automate also, we have connectors. All right, we have connectors. Connector is also like a bridge between your Power Automate and data source. Connector are like different applications you can connect to your power, to your flow, to your automations. We have AI Builder, we have Excel, you can connect Excel, you can connect Microsoft Form, you can connect weather for, you can connect Outlook that can send email. These are connector. We have SQL Server, we have SharePoint approval. So this is called standard approval. the connector that takes care of, that sends approval, that will help me to send approval to my manager is called standard approval inside Power Automate, inside Microsoft Power Automate. Now we start. I want to create an approval. Then once they send it for approval, send it to my manager to either approve or send. Instead of me trying to send emails back and forth, then I just go to submit for approval, start and for approval type to be forced to respond because it's only going to my manager. All right, it's only going to my manager. Then title, then request for coffee machine. All right, request for coffee machine. Assigned to. I'm using myself as the manager. Let me use my email address because obviously you know the email address of your manager. Let me use my email address. It's going to pop out for me. Yeah, this is me. So this is me right here. Then details. Now, inside this now, remember, inside this, when they submit for approval, every info inside this form, every info inside here will be inside. There's something we call dynamic content inside. Every info inside this column, inside this record, will be available for us to pick. That's what we call dynamic content. You say requests for coffee machine. So are you all hearing me, please? Can you all hear me, please? Hello? Yes, good. Okay, all right, thank you. So now, request for coffee machine. Then I want it to be the machine name, because obviously you might not know the name of the machine the person pick. So that's where dynamic content comes in. Dynamic content, this is where you select see more. You see, all this you are seeing, they are the columns inside this table. They are the column inside this table and the record inside that column. The rows, the column, all the record here. Because all these they are columns, and all these they are record inside that column. So it's going to machine name. You pick it from dynamic content, which is, let me search. See, machine name. All right. Then the color of the machine. Let me say color. This is an example. Select from dynamic content, the color, then the price. Let me select the price. This is the price. Okay, then that's all. This is what my manager will see. Then enable automation, enable notification, assign it to your this in your assigned to. That will be the email address of your manager. If you know the email address of your manager, I'm using myself as a manager. So now, once that is done, then I want it to check. I want it to check if it was approved or reject. I want to add a condition. There's something we call a condition, a conditional control that will check if the manager approve or not. You will see how this is going to show now. Control. I want to add a condition. Choose value. Then from dynamic content also, I will come here. I will look for outcome of the approval. All right. You look for response summary. That's this is the outcome of the approval. All right. You see the outcome of the approval. Then you select does not contain. You see that all this Microsoft already do all this for just for you to think of how you want to bring this to life. All right. So that's why I'm organizing this training so you can have an idea of how to create your own automation, because obviously inside an organization there's always room for approval. You always request for approval every time from your manager. So these are the things you can do. These are automations you can automate. Instead of sending email back and forth, you can just create an approval, then align with your manager. Manager, I develop a solution, an approval solution that we can be using in our organization. This is going to be good. Wow, no manager will see this and don't want to welcome it into the organization. Does not contain reject, which means if the manager did not reject, If the manager, which means if the manager did not reject, obviously it's going to be approved, right? So if it does not contain reject, then send a mail to me. Send a mail. So we have a connector that can send a mail, which is the Office 365 Outlook. That's another connector they can use to send mail. Can you see how these are? We have over 1,000 connectors that you can attach to Power Automate. So I want to send a mail. Okay, I want to send a mail. To send a mail to myself. I was the one I'm requesting for approval here. Now, how do I get the email address of the person here? Let me just add code this. Let me say, okay, let me add code this. Let me just use my name because this is just for a test. But in a business scenario, this is an idea you can use. You can use from dynamic content. Then you come here. You go to, there's something we call, when we come to this, you see, you go to modified by, there's something we call modified, the ID of the person. But I don't want to go into that. This requires another step by step. But this is just a random. I don't want to use this because of our time. We've already spent 2 hours 35 minutes. So because of our time, I don't want to go further. I just want to make this flow simple. So let's say to myself, I am the one. Let me just add code this to my name. Let me just add code this. But normally, in a normal business scenario, you have to pick the email address of that person that is requesting for the coffee machine. Then so that the person can be notified that it has been approved. But I'm the one. Let me just add code this. Then subject, coffee machine request approved. Coffee machine request approved. Then I'll just say approval details. Let me just say approval details. This is just for a demo. So at least you can have an idea of how different automations you can automation you can create. Then machine name, the name of the machine. I'll select this from this. Select from this dynamic content. Just this. Then what else again? Color. I will select the color because you already know what you know what you selected already. Color. Then I'll say approved by, what approved this? By the manager. Now this is where I will select the name of the manager. You see, response approval's name, the name of the manager. So can you see the name of, notice it's automatically Power Automate added for each action here. What does this for each action does? This is what we call a loop action. What does this loop action? Because when you use a condition here and you select outcome of the approval, because in an outcome it's going to, I know this might be a beginner, but I don't want to be too much. I don't want to lose too much pro language. Now Microsoft added for each. This for each, if you check here, when you come here, you see it's added output, start and wait for an approval. Because from the output of that approval, it's going to come in a tabular form, like array of item, different kind of item. There will be, like for example, if I select this, because when I select this, you see these are what is coming from that responses. We have request date, the response approval name, the email of the person that approved, the date it was requested, the approval response. So it's going to be in a tabular form. They are called list of items. So this action, it needs to check through all those items. It needs to look through everything. You are only interested to pick the name of that person. So the Power Automate understands that, okay, I need to check through this table and extract the name of the person that approved this request. That's why it's added it inside for each action. For each means it's going to loop through, like check through the table and extract the name of the approver, then send it to you as an email. Can you see what? Can you understand the logic now? Approved by. So let's just leave that. Let's just leave that. Then let's say date of approval. Date of approval. Let me pick the name of date of approval too. Then I select from dynamic content and I say approval date. Let me see, request date, response, date the approval response was sent. Can you see? So the date, let me select the date. So then that's all. Then I save. Let me just save this. Now, let's now break this to life. Let's now interact with the application and see if I'm going to get an approval. Now, I'm sure everybody knows Teams. When I select this approval, the approval is going to come inside Teams and also in my email address. Like, for example, this meeting, because every organization, if you're using Microsoft product, you communicate inside Teams. So you will see this approval inside Teams and also in my email address. Now, this is my email address. I'm already logged in like this inside my email address. Okay. Now, let me go back to inside the application. Then try. Let me save this. Okay, this is a play. Let me publish this. Once you are done, then you have to publish your machine. You can give it an icon, give it a name, briefly describe this app. This app, you can give a brief description. This application is to request for coffee. Is to request for coffee. Wherever I just give it a description. I'm not doing that. Then I publish this. Let me publish this. As then be published. Publish this version. I think it's been published already. So let me play. Now let me go back. Now let me request for coffee. Let me go. I think okay. I like this. How much is this? This is 12,900. That's too much. Okay, let me just go. Okay, this okay. I like this one. Okay, submit for approval. Yes, then submit for approval. Can you see it has been submitted? Now, let me go to my automation. If my automation has kicked up, let's see. Got it? Can you see? Now, can you see my automation is running already? See, my automation is running already. Let me now wait. The approval yeah, can you see now? The approval already comes in. The approval came in. Can you see? Request for coffee machine. The name of the coffee, the color, the price, the color. Then see, pending, requested by me, pending. Okay, let me just say, okay, approve. Once I approve, even if I check my email address, okay, the email address hasn't come in, but it came in into my Teams. Now, I should receive a mail now of it being approved. Can you see? Can you see? Immediately I approved. The approval came in because I acted as the manager. See, this is how the email will come also. The manager also receive a mail like this, but I already approve. The manager can approve inside email address and also I can choose to reject. And once it's approved, can you see? I that created the approval, I got the notification. Approval, see, confirmation request approval details, color black. Can you see? Okay, now let me choose to reject if I'm going to receive a notification. Remember in our flow, I added that if it does not contain reject, that's when I should receive a notification. But if it contains reject, I'm not going to receive a notification. Now let's do a test. Let me reject one or two. Let me reject. Let's do a test. I want to reject this. Okay, now I want to request for another coffee. Submit approval. Yes. Notice I requested for travel brew, price 349. Submit for approval. Can you see? Now I want to approve this via email address. I don't want to use Teams. I know it's going to come inside Teams. See, it's going to come, but I don't want to use this. I want to use my email address to approve. Let me wait till this approval comes in. Let me wait a little bit. I'm going to wait. I don't want to use Teams. I want to use, so you can see that it's a two-way approval. I can approve inside email address and also inside Teams. I don't want to use Teams this time around. I want to use as you know, and it's going to take time sometimes. It takes time. Oh, good. Yes, this is it. Yeah, this is it. Request for coffee machine. Can you say request for coffee machine, color black? Now let me choose reject. Rejected. I say not now. Not now. I say just not now. Submit. That I requested for the approval. I will also even get a notification that it was rejected. See, even in my Teams approval, it's going to show that it was rejected. Now let me check my mail. You see, no email coming, and let me check my flow. You will see that step was omitted. That's because it contains rejected. Let me inspect how my flow. I can inspect how my flow went. You will see that it's going to omit that email sending action. You see that it did not come here. This is where, now let me inspect. You see, let's inspect our action. This is where you can see how the automation took place. Can you see input expression result false? That's because it contains reject. So you get the logic now. See how I was able to automate this without needing to send manual email to our manager. Once my employee just come to the app, now once you publish, you can share this application with everyone in your organization. And how do you share this? Once you are done developing this application and you've published this, you've published the version, can you see how the automation kick at the back end? Can you see? So once you can share with everybody to start using, and you can be the asset in your organization. If you are able to come with this kind of thing in your organization, tell me how your manager is not going to like you. Tell me how your paycheck is not going to increase. So now that you have done with this, can you see? Now this is the application. You can choose to just share. Just click on share. Once you are done with the application, you click on share. Then you click everybody. You might have a security group in your organization, or you might know the email address for everyone. See, add a group, or you can share it with user in your development, your environment. You can share with everybody in your organization, or you can just copy the link and send it to their email address, send it to them. But you need to give them notice. The database that this application is interacting with, you need to give every user that goes to be using this application a read and write permission for that data source. That's another one in time. But I'm just showing you how you can create application and also create automation. Can you see how I was able to create an application and attach an automation to that app? Once it's selected, then it goes to my manager for approval. Then so now let me also create another automation. Maybe in your organization you have a Microsoft form. Now let me use, for example, when you register to this training, let me show you an automation that I did. For example, I believe everyone that registered for this training, you register using the Microsoft form, like you saw when you were registering. There's an automation that I did that after you fill the form, there's an automation that sends an email address to you for a registration of a successful registration. Let me do that as another demo. Then we are done with this training. Then I welcome questions. Then we wrap it off. Now let's create another automation. Now let me go to another automation. My flow, new flow, automated cloud flow. Now I want it to be, let me just name it Microsoft form, because you can connect many connectors. You see, when a response is submitted, and this is my form, I have a form here called, I have a form here. This is like we are doing this live. We have a form. This is the form everyone register using. You guys using this training. Some people just registered it too, and some they did not even join. So this is the form everyone uses. Now let me go back to question. Let me see, collect responses. Now, okay, no, sorry, preview. So this is the form you guys use. Now, I want to reduce that automation that you guys see. That I want to do it now because let's say in your organization you have a Microsoft form to collect responses, and you want everyone to be notified. You don't have to be sending email. This person has noticed. No, you can automate that. All right, now I'll select Microsoft form as my connector, as my trigger. When a response is submitted, then I create. All right, I create. Then it's going to give me all the list of forms we have in our organization that I created. Oh, it's not inside this environment. Oh, let me go back. Let me refresh again. So you can see another automation that I did. So now, before I create this Microsoft form automation again, please, do you guys have any question? Then after that, they will call it a day. Then I show you the resources and also show you how you can break into tech, show you some learning resources. Do anyone have any question before we move further?
Hello. Yeah. Well done.
Yes, I have a question.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, I can hear you, Mr. Damlare. Please, your question, please, before we move ahead, before we go further.
All right. I appreciate you for this workshop. It's actually very, very amazing, and it's
You're
good
welcome.
for every organization. And
Exactly.
my question is basically, I know this is very complex, very, very complex, and it would be okay for beginners to find time to learn more. Maybe
Yeah, exactly.
the reason why I can relate, because I'm also a local developer, and I am an Airtable database expert. I do automation with
Yeah,
Zapier and all, you know.
yeah, go ahead. I'm sure you have
So
idea of that. I would have been saying this morning.
that exactly, I do.
Yeah.
But my question is, why developing the app? I'm just trying to get myself familiar with this. I've heard about it, but
Okay.
I've not had really had time to explore
Okay.
power apps and power automation.
Okay.
But when talking about prototyping, moving from one screen to the other, do we also get to do that while developing the app and the interaction? What happens when you click on this screen? What pops up? And all that. And also for the power automate, I can see that when sending the notification, they trigger the actions, blah blah blah, and all
Yes.
that. When sending the
Yes.
notification to the manager,
Yes.
is it that the organization must be using Microsoft Teams, or you can send you can send notification using any other emails? Because you mentioned that you can only create a developer, what's it called again? Only using
Developer account. Yeah.
maybe Teams email, developer account using Teams email, or a kind of school email, say
Yes.
Damilare at convenantuniversity.org.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you
Exactly.
make use of another email when sending a notification while setting up your automation? That's my question.
Okay. Now, let me first to answer your question of that notification of approval. Now, this approval will only work if the organization is using Microsoft technologies. If you are using Microsoft Office 365, all right, because apparently if you are using Office 365 within your organization, you are entitled to use Teams for sorry, the router kind of got disconnected, so I had to reconnect again. So now, can you hear me now?
Yes, please.
Okay, so the approval works if the organization uses Microsoft technologies, whereby because within Microsoft technologies, that means you are using Teams, and Teams is integrated with approval, with standard approval. Because, for example, here if you go to Teams, I don't know if anybody is here as an organization that use Teams. So if I go to Teams and I go to, you see this Approver is an app that is integrated with Teams. It's called Approver. So that Approver has a connector inside Power Automate. So that's connector I used that will send, instead of me coming to this Approver and creating it manually, it has been automated. So this connector has already been integrated with Power Automate. So it has been integrated. The Approver it will be done on my behalf. So the Approver gets sent to the manager, and as per the notification, you can send, if it's just ordinary email notification that doesn't involve Approver, because the Approver only works inside Microsoft Technologies. But as per email notification, you can send it to any email address. For example, after this now, maybe we have a director that uses another email address, maybe Gmail or Zomail or another email address. After the manager approves and you want to send another notification, you can send as per just other notification that doesn't involve Approver. So remember, Approver is going to be sent via Teams and email address. That's the email address, which is the Outlook. That is a Microsoft. It's part of Microsoft ecosystem. But as per notification that doesn't involve the manager to click Approver button within the email address. If it's just only in notification, you can send notification to another email address. It can be Gmail, it can be Outlook, it can be Yahoo, just ordinary notification. I can decide to say, okay, I want to send an email address. The email can go to, let's say, okay, this is an email address to this two button, this two. You can decide to use another email address. Okay, let me say I want to use my Gmail. This is my Gmail address now. Now, this notification will go to my Gmail. That's because I am not taking any action. I'm only seeing what has been approved. I'm not taking any action. I'm not clicking approve button, because the approve button only works inside Outlook, which is within Microsoft Technologies. But if it's just to send notification, you can use any other email address. I can decide to use my Gmail here too. My Gmail as for notification. So that's for that notification. It's just for the Approver. It has to be within Microsoft Technologies. So I hope that answer your question for the notification aspect. And the second one for navigating from screen to screen. Yes, you will be the one to set that, because when they click a button, you are the one that needs to set the action that needs to take place. That, okay, which screen do you want them to navigate to? So that's why there's a PowerFX function. It is called the PowerFX function called navigate. So it is that function that, okay, this user wants to navigate to another screen. It's just like it's like you are using an HTML, just like in a developer language. Like you are using an HTML, JavaScript to communicate with the browser. But inside Power Apps, we are using a low-code programming language, low-code technology called PowerFX, more or less like Excel formula. So I can decide to add another screen here. If I decide to add another screen here, and I also integrate another button like this. Another button. So this, you notice, this is called screen 2. Then I come here. Then I come to the unselect property. These are properties that you want that formula to do. We have the size, the text. We have unselect. We have over. This side is called formula bar. We call this formula bar, and this is the properties you want to take action that you want it to take place. Now, meaning upon selecting this button, unselect is an action. Meaning upon selecting this button, I want the user. There's a function called navigate. Even when you are typing, Power Apps auto generate the formula for it, as in gives suggestion of what you are trying to do. Now I want to navigate. Then where do you want to navigate? Can you see? It's asking me for target. I want to navigate to screen 2. All right, screen 2. Then I close the brackets, which we call it parentheses. Then I close parentheses. Then if I play this and I see, okay, sorry. If I play this canvas, if I play this, you see, it's going to screen 2. So you will be the one to select to format it the way you want your user to interact with. So, Mr. Adamilare, I hope that answers your question, right?
Yeah, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Mr. Babatunde, I can see your hands up. So, please let me ask a question, please. Mr. Babatunde?
All right, thank you,
okay.
Sir. Yeah,
You're welcome.
I'm on. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. So, my question, because of our time, the question I want to ask is, what if I'm working for an organization that doesn't have a system in place before that captures their data? So they don't have data that can work to help them build any app. So how can I still go ahead to build an app for them or an AI agent that can help the organization? Is that when I need to use Copilot or what? I want you to shed more light on that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, in a situation whereby the organization doesn't have a database, this is where you as a developer, like, you'll be the one to pitch Microsoft Power Platform ecosystem to them. Like, you let them know the kind of solution you are trying to develop and the technologies you want to use. All right. So if the organization doesn't have a Microsoft technologies in place, you as the local developer, it's like if you are pitching another idea to them. When they see this idea as a way of being productive, they will have to move to Microsoft technologies, because this Power Platform, okay, let's say, okay, maybe they are not using Microsoft technologies. Maybe they use SQL Server, or they use Excel as their traditional database. Maybe they use Excel. You as a local developer, you can come up with a data for them, just for you to understand their business process, like the problem you are trying to solve. Then go down, write down, okay, this is what they are trying to solve. Come out with a database for them, because you are the one that will design the application. You are the one that will be, this is one thing about being a Power Platform developer. You are wearing many hats. You are working as a database administrator, yes, because you will design the database for them. You will be the backend developer. You are the one that design the database. That's the backend. So you can use Dataverse as a database. You can use Excel. If they have Excel spreadsheet that they have their data in an Excel, you can import that, just like I did. You can import that into Dataverse like I did. Then you let them know, now this your data is not living in Dataverse. You tell them more about Dataverse, tell them about Power Platform, design this application for them using Dataverse. Then you design the automation for them, which means that company will now be using Microsoft technology. Like, it's a way of you opening their eye, like making them be more coming to the digital world, like creating a data database for them, coming to the cloud space. So it's like pitching an idea. So, and as per the Copilot is already integrated inside Power Apps. Like, if you want to create an app, you can chat with, it's already integrated inside Power Apps, which is here, like I did here, which is this. If I come back here, let me save this already. Let me save this, then I come back. It's already integrated inside Power Apps. It's not that if they don't have AI agent or they don't have AI, no. Once you have Microsoft Power Platform license or account, AI is already integrated inside the interface. Like here, if you come to create, like I want this to go back. If I come to create here, it's going to be automatically here. Start with Copilot. This is where you can chat with Copilot. Then describe the business problem you are trying to solve. Then it's even safe. Copilot can design a database for you, a table. It's just for you to describe the business problem you are trying to solve. Then Copilot will generate a solution for you. Like, okay, let me say, for example, now let me use this as an example. Let me say, describe data you want to store, columns, want to row, or your business scenario. Okay, I want to develop a project management system. Then once I generate, you see, I did not give it any database, any data source. My Copilot will design a database inside Dataverse for me, then come up with an application. So this doesn't require having a HR agent. It's already integrated inside Power Apps. Can you see? It come up with database form. This is a project data. This is a project table, task table, then team member. So it's come up with the database for. So Mr. Babatunde, I hope that answer your question. Mr. Babatunde. Hello, can you? Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So that's it. If there's no database installed, you'll be the one to come up with the database, come up with the idea, tell them the solution you are trying to use, the platform you want to create for them. If they have it's obvious they will surely have an exec, because every organization they will surely have an exec. If they use exec traditional database, you can import that into Terraverse, then come up with the app idea. So in the absence of no question, let me try and create that automation I was trying to say. And I say I want to create for Microsoft Form, just like what you guys saw when you were registering for this application. Then we call it a day. Now I click on new flow, automated cloud flow. When a response is submitted, form. Let me click form, because this is part of the connection you can use inside Power Automate. Now I want to select my form. Let me change to this environment. So it is not the environment. Okay, yeah, this is it. These are my form. Because every form you create in Microsoft Form to be available within your organization to select, to pick from. This is my form. All right, this is my form. Then once I select my form, then my next action. So the trigger is when a new response is submitted, which means when you fill this form, the automation will start. Then once it starts, what do you want me to do? I want to get the response details. I want to get the response the person submitted here, which is get response details. So you see how it works. Then form ID, I select my form again. Unit identifier, select it from the dynamic content, is the response ID. It's going to come from this response ID. Then my next action is I want to send a mail, or I want to populate this data into an Excel spreadsheet. Okay, let me populate this. Let's say you are collecting data from your collecting data from your employee, and you are trying to save this data inside an Excel spreadsheet instead of trying to save it inside Terraverse or trying to send a mail. I can both send a mail and all this data save it inside inside a table in a Terraverse. Instead of me manually doing data entry myself, the automation input the data on my behalf. Okay, let me say every response here should be saved inside this database. I want to, let me quickly, 3 hours. Let me quickly create a table inside this data. Let me quickly create a table inside this environment. Let me create a table, new table. I want to collect every response here inside a table. So you can also use an Excel, but this is just a Terraverse table. I want to create a table. Let me start from blank. I want to make this one the person's name. In this column, I can make this one full name of the person, single line of text. I can make this required, then updates, then new column. I make this one email address, single line of text too. I save. I want to make this one, what else again is here? Location. I want to make this one location, single line of text, then I save. What else again? I want to make this one, what else? On what social media platform do you see this training? I want to also make a new column, social media platform, single line of text too. I save that. What else again? I want to get the person's expectation from, what are your expectations? Like you are trying to get data. So I want to say enter this. Then my single line of text, I want it to be multi-line of text. Like because inside here, their wordings might be plenty, might be many. So I can make this one multi-line of text that make room for many words. Then I save this. Then what else again? Then what are your expectations? Okay, I already said I think I already did that. Expectation. Then, is there anything else again? Copy this. Then, new column. I paste this again. Make this one also multi-text, multi-line of text. Then I save. All right. So once that is done, then my table name, let me make it break into tech survey, or let me just name it 703 solutions survey. All right, survey. Then I save and exit. So now I want every information gotten from this Microsoft form should be auto-populated inside this table, which is inside Dataverse. Now let me continue. So I get response detail. Then I use my Dataverse connector. All right, because I want to get in data from this Microsoft form into Dataverse. I want to use my Dataverse connector, which is add a new row. Like I want to add a new row. I will choose my table, which is 703 survey, 703 solution survey. Let me search. This is it. This is my table I just created. Then now, can you see the full name is going to come from my dynamic content, which is this. What else again? I want to email, their email address, their location, social media, what expectations. Is there anything else? Those are the columns I want to populate data into. The email address should come from here. Is there anything else? Also should come from here. Their location should come from, let me search this, should come from here. Social media platform should come from, what social media platform? Should come from here. What are your expectations? Should come from here. Then there's that. Then after that, I want to send an email address to the person. I want to send a mail to the person that's filling in this. Now, and what connector do I want to use? I want to use my Office Outlook, my own email address that I created to send you guys mail. Instead of me manually texting all of you after you have submitted your response, instead of me manually emailing you, thank you for registering for this survey, thank you. No, immediately you fill that form, immediately you get a notification, immediately you get an email address. Instead of me doing that manually myself, I will use the Office Outlook connector that send a mail on my behalf to send a mail. Then to who? Who is the mail going to? Going to this time around, I'm not going to type it in. I will use dynamic content. The mail should go to, from the person that filled the response, should go to the email address, which is this field. Obviously, the person that filled it will enter their email address. So I want to pick this person's email address and send them a mail on my behalf. Then to this person's email address. Subject, I'll just say thank you. Thank you for your response. Okay, then I'll just say, let me just copy this. Thank you for your response. Then I come here, paste. Then I'll say, thank you for your response. Say, thank you for filling out the survey. This is just a demo. Obviously, this is not a survey. I'm just using this as an example. Maybe you have a form you're organizing that is used to collect a survey, and you want them to be notified for successfully response. Then I save this. Now let's do a demo. Let's do a demo. Now let me go back to this. You see now no data is inside this table yet. Can you see? No data is here yet. No data is inside this table yet. Can you see that there's no data inside this table yet? Now I will be the one. All this is going to be done automatically. Now it's done. Now let me just test this manually. Let me go and perform the action test. So then I go back here. Then oh wait, before I move on, I already have a flow. Let me turn off that flow in this environment, because this was the flow I created that helps me send you guys automatic email or filling this form. Let me turn off this flow so it's not going to trigger 2 times. Let me turn off this flow. Let me turn off this. Let me turn this off. So I'm so sorry for taking you guys time, but I believe you guys are learning. I hope this training has really imparted into you. You're able to learn some things, even though we take so much time. But I was able to. Let me turn off this so that this one will not kick. This one is not going to trigger. Yeah, this has already been turned off. Then let me go back to my environment. Okay. Let me go back to my environment. Yeah, this is the form here. Now let me log in my email address in the new tab so that you guys can see the notification popping. This is my Gmail address that I'm going to input. Okay. Now, okay. Let me go to this. Marvelous. There's a marvelous email address. Let me enter my email address. WhatsApp. Let me say Abuja, Nigeria. Notes what I enter into this to be trained. Or let me say knowledge. Let me say knowledge. Is there anything else? None. So once I'm done, then I just submit. So can you see? When that is done, now I'm sure the automation will have triggered now. Let me inspect my flow. Let me inspect the automation. I'm sure the automation has, can you see, it has already been triggered. Now, let me go to my inbox. Can you see? Can you see? Thank you for your response. Thank you for filling out the survey. Can you see how everything it did was done automatically? Now let me go back to my table and see if those data has already been auto-populated. So you see that this data would have been auto-populated without me doing a manual data entry. So you can also use this idea to also automate data entry. All right, you can use this idea to automate data entry. Now let's check our table now. You will be in this table now. Let's just see. Network. Can you see? Look at it. Those data I enter inside the Microsoft form. Can you see how they automatically auto-populated into this table without me trying to enter it manually? Can you see how automation was able to save me some minutes? Those minutes that I saved, those hours, it counts. While you guys were filling those forms, I was doing other things. It's the automation that is sending this notification on my behalf. Can you see? This is how you can leverage automations in your daily task, and you can start developing your own automations. And with that, I was able to. This is how you can develop automations, develop applications, and with this, I believe you guys have learned something today, and you're able to grab one or two things inside this training. So this is the end of this demo, and so to do a brief summary, we were able to create an application for coffee or drink. We were able to create an automation to automate the approval process. We were able to even automate collection of survey. Now, the next question is how to start your tech journey. How can you start your own tech journey? One, you can start by learning from Microsoft Learn. After this training, I will send this presentation to you and include links to Microsoft Learn that you can go on to keep learning more. And next is you can also practice by automating your daily task. What's that daily task you always do almost every day manually? You can start by that, by automating those tasks to yourself. You can start by automating those repetitive tasks. You can even automate your WhatsApp messages. There's a way to integrate WhatsApp to Power Automate, whereby you can, if any messages, this kind of message lands, you can do this. You can even automate your Insta. Many things you can automate, and also you can join. Next, you can join communities. Speaking of communities, in the mail you received, there's a community I created. I will appreciate if you guys can join. So I'll keep dropping more tutorials, more ideas, job leads as an automation and local developer. Do so to join the community where you can also keep learning more, dropping ideas, dropping blog posts, because I have a blog that I create articles, and I also have a YouTube channel where you can learn more. I'll be dropping tutorials that can assist in your tech journey, that can assist in your automation journey, and also build. The more you practice, build a portfolio. The more you practice, the more you keep getting more, the more you keep learning about this automation, because the more you keep practicing, the more you keep learning. Build automations. Start small. It doesn't have to be complex. Start small. Start by automating repetitive tasks at your organization. Start by, I'm sure there are things you do in your organization that you do every day manually. Try and think of how you can automate that. Is it data entry like I did? Is it data entry? You can also automate Excel. If you want to automate, for example, maybe you have, let me give you an example. Maybe you have an Excel spreadsheet at work that you always enter almost every day. Maybe that data, you always got it from an external source or from a survey. You want to enter it manually. You can upload that Excel to your OneDrive, because if you want to automate it, once you link your Excel, the Excel will be uploaded automatically to OneDrive. So, and if that data is entered to be automated on your behalf, so those are the things you can do. You can leverage. Questions and answers. I think I have welcomed questions, and I'll appreciate if you guys can connect with me on LinkedIn. I have a blog. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, is in your link. I will send this PowerPoint to everyone with the links for external resources, to connect with me on LinkedIn, to see how to learn more. I have articles, I have blog posts, I have videos that can assist in your journey. Connect with me on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and on my blog. I will send you guys this presentation link so you guys can learn more. Thank you all for joining this training. I believe you guys were able to learn one or two things. So my name is Marvelous Omotosho once again. I'm the founder of 702 Solutions. I'm a process automation developer at GMD Limited, and I share my knowledge with the community. So I'm glad to connect with you all. In the absence of no question, do anyone also have any question before we call this training a day? Any question, please? Do we have any question, please? I guess no question, right? Mr. Let me call you up by your names. Mr. Damilare, Mr. Ayantayo, Mr. Where's again? Mr. Ade Akinwumi, Mr. Oluwatomi. I hope everyone is a male. I don't know if you're a female. Let me know. Mr. Oluwatomi, Mr. Babatunde. Thank you for joining this training. It really means a lot. I appreciate you all. I was glad to share my knowledge with you all. Please,
thank you, sir.
Check out for the Microsoft documentation. You can learn more. I'll send you the link. You can try 30 days free trial. You can create a developer account. If you are in your organization, you can use organization email address to create a developer account. You can use, you can try for 30 days. Try, build something, automate something. Then you know that it's automate something, build, and don't hesitate to reach out to me in the community. Ask questions. I will answer you if you run to any roadblock. Drop a message in the community, in the group chat, in the community. I'll be able to answer you all. It's so nice connecting with you all, and I'll see you all in my next training. If I'm able to organize another training next time, I'll send you all again. Then we all can connect again. It's so nice to connect with you all, and do have a great day. Nice connecting with you all.
All right.
Have a great day and have a lovely day. Thank you all. I'll send you guys this recording, and thank you guys. I'll send you guys this recording and this presentation so you guys can learn, and the links. So thank you all, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you. Yeah. Bye-bye. Yeah. Bye.